Hi, my name's Andrew, and I'm going to show you how to find your purpose in life using a pencil and a piece of paper. FYI, this video is not about inspiration or 5-year plans or that Ikigai chart that's all over the internet, because if you're like me, you've tried all that stuff and it didn't work, which is weird, right? Because you have so many creative skills and ideas, but there's this huge gap between what you're capable of and what you're actually accomplishing. I was dealing with the same thing for most of my 20s, but when I finally found the answer, I was able to go from being a burned out freelancer to publishing my first book, growing an Instagram audience, and getting monetized on YouTube in 1 year. That's the process I'm going to teach you, and if you want to skip ahead to the exercise, you can go to this timestamp. But if you really want to find your purpose in life, it can help to understand the problem. Back in 2019, I started working on this course called the Freedom Business Roadmap, which was supposed to help creatives figure out what they wanted in life. But when I look back on all the times I had switched lanes, from writing to advertising to design to coding to illustration, I realized, oh wait, I don't even know what I want in life. Basically, I had what I now call creative ADHD, and it wasn't just affecting my career choices either. From clothes to relationships to the way I organized my room, there was zero consistency in my life. So I started researching purpose, but pretty soon I realized there were essentially 3 methods of finding it, and they all had problems. Motivation videos pump you up, but then you're like, what now? Personality tests and 5-year plans give you a lot of detail, but then you have to redo them every time your goals change. And giving up takes the pressure off, but then your life is a mess because you still have no purpose. On top of all that, there's the chicken and egg problem of how do you know what you want in life if you don't know what you want in life? The bottom line was, to find my purpose, I had to come up with a method that was simple, practical, and unbiased by all of the things I thought would make me happy, but actually wouldn't. Which brings us to the solution. Merriam-Webster defines purpose as the reason why something is done or used, the aim or intention of something. The key part being the reason, not reasons plural, which makes sense because life is full of decisions. You can't go around with a 10-page list of goals in your back pocket. I've always liked the simplicity of questions like WWKRD, aka what would Keanu Reeves do? So I thought, what if purpose is just a one-word decision-making system for your whole life? I tried making a list of words, but I felt like I was back to square one because I already knew creativity was the most important thing to me, and it wasn't helping me make better decisions. But what if I was wrong? What if I stopped trying to find purpose and simply calculated it using my happiest memories, like existential algebra? First thing I did was take a sheet of lined paper and make 3 columns: priority, score, and memory. Then I brainstormed a list of my favorite things: nature, creativity, freedom, etc. Once I filled up the page, I went through each priority and wrote down the happiest memory I could think of. The key is to not just have general memories like traveling to Maine, but specific moments like building a driftwood shack on Schoodic Peninsula. After that, I went through each priority and wrote down how many memories they were connected with. When I saw the final scores, it surprised me because I had spent my whole life prioritizing creativity, but in actuality, freedom was the main ingredient in all of my happiest memories. In retrospect, it made perfect sense because as a college student, I had schedules and teachers. As an agency copywriter, I had meetings and bosses. And as a freelance designer, I had contracts and clients. Technically, I was getting to be creative, but I didn't have the freedom to do what I wanted, so I always felt unmotivated, which is what's so cool about calculating your purpose instead of finding it. You don't have to guess anymore because the evidence is right here and it comes straight from your own memories. So the only question left is, once you have a purpose, what do you do with it? When someone says they don't have a purpose in life, what they're really saying is they don't know how to make good decisions, which means A, they're too slow at making small decisions, B, they're too incompetent making big decisions, and C, they don't know when to make exceptions. So let's talk about how to apply purpose in all three cases. Especially if you have an ADD type personality, most of your decisions are going to be made in the moment, so it's best to go with your gut, and the easiest way to do that is to run everything through your one word. For example, when I get a DM from someone on Instagram asking if I want to collaborate on a project, I ask myself, does this feel like freedom? If I don't immediately get that hell yeah vibe that Derek Sivers talks about in his book, Anything You Want, I say no. Honestly, I use the word freedom to make 99% of my decisions now, but sometimes I come to a big fork in the road, and that's a good time to break out my list of priorities. For example, this year I had to decide whether to keep my part-time job or go all in on YouTube. On the one hand, it was a big risk, but the word safety was nowhere on my list. And if I had kept selling shoes 20 hours a week, I would have had to give up a lot of my creativity and freedom and solitude and pretty much everything that makes me happy. So I made the leap. It was not easy, but I got my dream job off the ground, and I never would have had the confidence to do that if I wasn't clear on my priorities. Occasionally things will pop up that conflict with your purpose, and you might have a moral obligation to do them, even if you don't like it. So the thing to do is to apply your purpose to the problem by asking, how can I make this feel like freedom? Or whatever your word is. For example, sometimes I have to go to family gatherings, and as an introvert, it can be draining. So I set up boundaries beforehand. I need 4 hours of alone time every day, I need to go for a run every day, and I need to make art every day. It's a win-win because I'm in a good mood hanging out with my family, knowing that I don't have to sacrifice my priorities to make it happen. Overall, the point of purpose is not just to know your why, but to get your whole life spinning in creative orbit around that idea by applying it to every decision you make. As the good decisions start adding up, a more consistent, focused human will emerge, and the people who called you crazy for chasing your dreams will start calling for advice, like asteroids being sucked into your gravitational field. P.S. If you like this video, you can also find a comic strip for it on Instagram at @FTheLines, plus other tips on creativity, minimalism, and barefoot running. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.